Welcome back to White Fox After Hours.
Welcome.
I'm Scarlett.
And I'm Cody.
And we are your hosts of the official White Fox podcast.
We are. And we're in yet another new room. You're in the White Fox office today. So we're here doing a little makeshift setup intro. But I don't mind it in here.
Yeah, I feel happy.
Yeah, I feel quite happy and well lit.
I know, it's nice to have some natural lighting for once.
I know. Our new studio is definitely got no natural light, but she's cute.
She is cute.
How's your week been?
My week has been good. Well, Afterpay Day launched today.
Yes.
So I've been here all morning, making sure that all runs smoothly.
Yep.
And
Early
we've
start.
got shifts all week to help get the orders out. So if anyone's placed an order, we'll all be down there helping.
Yes, working hard.
Yes. And we've had so many events lately, but we had a stunning event last week for International Women's Day.
So cute. The events team did such a good job.
Gorgeous.
And you girls, obviously.
And the socials girls captured. No, but the events team did slay, and something a bit different, the purple.
Yeah.
But they made it very much White Fox.
Yes. Yeah, because the colour of International Women's Day is purple, and we all were told to wear purple to the office, and I have no purple.
I know, our HR wasn't very happy with us for that.
Yeah.
But I wasn't here. I was at the event, so I got a miss. I would have worn purple. Got so much purple in my wardrobe.
Yeah. I wore blue. It's the closest I've got. Yeah.
But yeah, it was such a nice day. It was at the White Fox Hotel. So we had all the girls come there for a cocktail hour. Then we had the girls made some bags for a charity. And then we had a stunning lunch. Yeah, it was a nice day.
Yeah, it looked lovely.
How has your week been?
It's been good. I went to Byron on the weekend for a little girls trip, which was so nice.
Lots of the girls from work. That was really nice.
Yeah, it was really cute. A lot of the UK gals. There was Meg and Sophia that had been on the podcast. And yeah, it was really fun. I love it in Byron. So I feel refreshed into this week. And what else has been happening? It's been the Oscars.
Yes, it has been. There's been a lot on.
There's been a lot on. I just love award season. Every year I'm like, there's just so much that happens.
I know.
TikTok now just absolutely takes over. I'm obsessed with Amelia Dims. I think she's so cool. I feel like she really preps and really works hard, and she deserves all the opportunities she's getting.
I haven't been on TikTok yet to see it all.
Really?
But I'm excited. I have seen a few outfits, but I haven't seen all the interviews and everything yet.
Okay, well, that's probably normal, because the only reason I've seen it, I was saying to Scarlett before, is because I literally was awoken at 3 a.m. by
she just
no
said she
particular
told me
reason.
she was running at 4 a.m. because she woke up at 3.
So I was on TikTok, but I'm well prepped for this intro today, so don't
worry.
worry.
Tell me more.
Okay, so winners, we've got Cillian Murphy, Best Actor for Oppenheimer, and Emma Stone won Best Actress. She just looked so emotional and so stunning. I love her so much. Oh, Billie Eilish and Phineas won again for the What Was I Made For song. They've really slayed with that one. I just love her.
Yeah, I mean,
She's
deserving,
so
I feel.
Yeah, for sure.
Outfit vibes, I feel like Margot Robbie, she looked very chic.
Yes.
She looked amazing. She always does.
She always does.
And
the Kardashians looked really good.
Yeah.
I loved Kendall's dress. And Kylie, actually.
They always slay.
Yeah, they do.
They could put anything on and they would slay.
They would, yeah.
Zendaya.
Always.
Yeah.
I really liked Florence Pugh's outfit as well. I feel like everyone just looked really good this year. It was very chic. I think you have to dress quite chic, classy to the Oscars.
Vibes.
Yeah. No one's taking any major risks. I always like seeing the TikTokers that get to go as well. I think that's so
cool.
cool.
Went from TikTok?
Monet McMichael went. She looked so good. I just love her vibes. She's so confident. And Christy, that one that flips around everywhere in front of her husband.
Oh, yeah.
They kind of went together.
I love watching her TikTok. She's funny.
I know, she's so funny. I love her. I think those were the main ones that went.
I feel like that's mostly
That's all I've really been
what's
seeing.
happening this week. Should we get into today's episode?
Let's do it. So today we have a fun episode. We haven't had an episode with just Scarlett and I in a while.
Yeah, it has felt like a while. We've had a lot of amazing, fun guests, which has been so much fun.
I know. The new studio has had a workout. It's been warmed up with all the amazing guests that we've had.
I know, and we still haven't hard launched it yet.
Yeah,
we will be. She's nearly ready.
Yeah.
And she is stunning. I love her. I love everything about her. I love being here.
Yeah, I love it here.
We've transformed this room into our dream podcast studio.
Yeah.
And we can't wait to show you.
Yeah, we're so excited. We have been documenting the process.
Yeah.
Now that I think of it, we haven't updated
that
in a while. We might have to do that.
I always think about this when I'm driving and I'm like, oh, that vlog that we were doing.
When you're driving.
Like what sometimes it's like always sometime that I can't
Intrusive
do
thought.
anything about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have been documenting the process, so we can fill you in on that, and we will be we'll give you a room tour really soon.
Yes, an MTV crib style walkthrough.
You'll get the whole tour soon.
Yeah.
But today we have a bit of a fun episode. We were thinking, what do we want to talk to you guys about? So we have curated our checklist to surviving your 20s.
Yes.
So we've both had a bit of a think and jotted down like what we think are the top tips that we would give to someone. You know, your 20s is hard. It's a whirlwind of emotions.
It's very up and down.
Yeah.
I feel like one day I'm like, I am slaying so hard. And the next day I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing with my life.
This literally happened to us recently. So we filmed a podcast episode where
that was triggering.
we filmed a podcast episode where we came in. I think it was the last one we did by ourselves, our ins and outs. And me and Cody go, so how have your week been? Like, honestly, slaying this year. Like February's been our new start to the year. Like we're just never felt better.
So clear, so on top of life.
We're editing this episode, right?
I'm like, take me back to that.
We
I
weren't
want to feel like her
slaying
again.
anymore. It was a week later and we were like,
I
want to be her a week ago.
Yeah. So I feel like it's very up and down, and that's like a very relatable feeling that anyone in their 20s is going through, whether you're single, in a relationship, in your dream career, still working to get there. Like everyone is in such a different stage of life in your 20s, but we feel like these are just really relatable things that everyone can tick off to kind of pave their way through their 20s and make it just that little bit easier for you.
I know, literally, I feel like this is something that I would have loved to listen to when I was entering my early 20s.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, I feel like you get advice from so many different people, but it's nice to hear, like, because we're still kind of in the midst of it. So it's nice to get a bit of a checklist of the things that we think is the most important for surviving out here. We're surviving.
That's what we're trying to do, survive and sometimes thrive. Yeah, that's the thing, because we are both still in our 20s. So this is like, things do change, but this is like consistently what we both agree on, and hopefully what we'll continue to do until we get to our 30s. So should we get into the first point?
Yeah, we should. Okay, so our first point is trust your intuition. I think you just always need to believe what your mind, gut, and body is telling you, and just really tune into that, because she never, ever lets you down, honestly. Like, I feel like there's so many times in your life where you'll be in a situation and you won't listen to what it's telling you, and you just keep learning the same lesson until you tune into what your body is literally trying to tell you.
That is so true. And I feel like sometimes if your head is ignoring it, your body will like force you to realize, and it manifests in like such interesting ways. But that's so right. Like until you listen to it, it'll keep telling you until you can't not listen to it.
Yeah. The universe is teaching us lessons out here, and they're like, learn this lesson. But
and I'm like,
like, no, I'm not listening. But this is even just in your day-to-day life. Like with anything, you need to be listening to yourself and trusting yourself, because like no one else can make these decisions for you in your life, big or small. Like, yeah, it's just can't put how much of just listening to yourself is so important.
Yeah, that's so true. I've been listening to a lot of Stephen Bartlett podcasts recently, like Diary of a CEO, and he talks a lot about the 51% rule, which is like you're never going to be 100% sure, but if you're just 51% sure of one outcome, just go with it, trust your gut, and that's going to be the right decision for you. And how like you shouldn't do things because you're expected to do things, but because that's how you want to pave your life. And it's so true. It's like you're told to do so many things, but if you're not doing it for yourself, then it's not going to align with you. And like, you're never going to regret making a decision that works for you.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think that's the thing too. Like, I've had so many experiences when I've made a decision that I've not trusted myself, and I've asked too many people. My judgment has got clouded, so I forget what I initially felt.
Yeah.
And once you do it and the outcome comes that you don't want, or like something happens, you're like, oh, like you do regret it.
Yeah.
But I think if you stay true to yourself and you make a decision, even if it doesn't turn out exactly how you want it, which usually it does if you look like, if you're listening to yourself, but even if it doesn't, you like, okay, well, that's what I felt at the time anyway. And you can actually go back and be like, I'm glad I made that decision still because I trusted myself. But if you listen to other people and not yourself,
that's when you're like, oh, like I should have just trusted what I thought. You're never going to regret doing what's right for you. Okay.
We love that. Back that. That is a really good one.
My next one is say yes. Take action and try new things, because if it's not for you, at least you'll know. Like, it's not failing. You're just having an experience and then learning. And most of the time you'll either meet a new person or make a new memory, or at least like build confidence. I feel like pushing yourself out of your comfort zone is the only way that you build like actual lasting confidence, because you're building like trust that like it's going to be okay. You can do this. You can handle things. And I don't know, every time that I've pushed myself out of my comfort zone, I feel like something really good has come from it.
I agree with this. Saying yes is such a big thing, like to every opportunity, because so much good, literally does come from it. Getting out of your comfort zone, it literally does make you grow so much. I feel like, and I know you're touching on like moving and stuff later on, but like when you do something crazy or different, like you do get rewarded and you have so much growth in your life, and then you can look back at people who, I don't know, you might have grown up with or haven't made as big a moves as you, or stepped themselves out of their comfort zone. And I feel like you just look back and you're like, thank God I did all those things, even if they were really hard at the time and they felt like the hardest thing ever. Like, looking back, like, imagine how much harder it would be not changing or not saying yes to things.
Yes.
And just watching how everyone else around you like grow and move on. And I feel like sometimes it's scary when you want things to stay the same, or you're in a relationship that you think is like, I don't know, going to be the end all, but like doing something different and like saying yes to things.
100%. And I feel like my biggest fear is not like how scary that new challenge might be. It's looking back and thinking, oh my God, I wish I went for that and I didn't. Like, having regrets is something that I just want to avoid at all costs. Like, I want to leave. I know you can't do everything, but I want to do as much as I can, because I don't know. I just feel like, it can be really scary at the time. And maybe like the biggest goal of yours or the biggest challenge isn't the thing that you're tackling right now. But if you start small and even make like a small change, like say you want to meet new friends and someone asks if you want to go for a coffee, like say yes, show up, like ask them lots of questions. Same with like dating, anything like that. I feel like you just need to start with a small tangible step and then work yourself up so that the scary big thing doesn't feel quite so big anymore.
Yeah, that's definitely a good way if you're not someone who wants to take like leaps and bounds. Like, just to do the smaller things and like see what that reward is like.
Yeah.
Like, if you're someone that's like, no way, that's crazy. Like, some people are like, yep, sign me up, move across the country.
I know.
Like Cody. Like, and I know I'm definitely someone like that as well. Like, I'll just jump at new experiences. But if you are someone who's scared but is like wanting to make those changes, I think it's probably just doing little things all the time, like meeting a new friend, or I don't know, going and doing something by yourself, like going to the movies or whatever it is, doing those small things and seeing the reward.
Yeah.
And then that might build you up to be like, okay, that was exciting. That wasn't that bad. And now you can do the next thing and build yourself up to moving to somewhere new, or like finding a new relationship or whatever it is.
100%. And write yourself like a plan, like keep yourself accountable. I feel like having actual steps that you can work towards would really help to like structure that growth as well. So look at us giving tangible advice.
Okay, so my next one is have a mindset of life isn't that serious. I feel like sometimes in your 20s it can be hard and you can get caught up thinking, oh my God, this decision that I've got to make, it's the biggest thing ever. But it's like, it's not that deep. It's not that serious.
Relax.
Like whatever it is, like it's fine. You're just going to figure it out. Like, you need to take the seriousness out of it sometimes. And like, life is meant to be fun. Like, you don't want to get to your 30s and be like, oh my God, I was so taking life way too seriously. Why was I doing that? Kind of giving myself the ick.
It's kind of embarrassing.
But like, obviously you got to hustle or whatever, but like, have fun. Like, it's not that serious.
Yeah, that's the thing. And I feel like I look back on my younger self, like in high school, I was like so stressed about classes and everything like that. And I'm like, oh my God, all my problems now, like looking back now, I'm like, that's ridiculous. Why did I put so much pressure on myself?
And we'll probably think that now.
Exactly. I've actually been having moments whenever I've been stressed recently being like, what would your 30-year-old self say to you right now? Like, they would be looking at me like, relax, like this is not that deep. Yeah, it's going to be fine. Like, if it's actually going to be a big deal in 10 years, yeah, okay, maybe give it a bit more time and thought. But like, if it's not, chill out. Like, it'll figure itself out.
I know. I think like sometimes you do have those moments and you like have a reality check and you're like, whoa. Like, I don't know. Sometimes I was getting so serious the other day. Like, okay, should I go to Europe with my friends? Such a big decision. Like, I'm going to have to save. Like, oh, I was getting like so uptight about it. Then I was like, wait a minute. People have like such harder decisions to make in the world, like really bad ones. This is a great decision. Should I go to Europe or not?
Yeah.
Like, it's not that deep, you know? I know there's obviously like bigger things, but that was just a certain thing the other day. But I was like, why are you putting so much thought into this? Like, it's a great thing to have.
Yeah.
It's fun. But yeah, I think just having a bit of an attitude, like, have fun. Don't take life too seriously. It's not that deep.
Life's for having fun. Life is for having fun.
Like Cody's quote. What's your quote?
What's my quote?
If it's not fun, I don't want to do it. She came back from Europe last year and it was like, if it's not fun, I don't want to do it. And if I have to do it, I'm going to make it fun.
True. I should get back. I mean, I'm always having fun. I am having a lot of fun.
We do. I feel like George has caught us around the office before. And like, I remember this one time we were literally just carrying furniture around the office. Like, it's
just like giggling.
Yeah. And she's like, you guys are just always giggling around the office. And that is us.
Yeah, it's true.
I feel like we probably annoy people because we're just always laughing.
True. Yeah, no, we do bring a lot of fun into everything, but I feel like sometimes it's easy to lose that mindset of like, just chill, like relax. And after you get back from a place like Europe, it's pretty easy to have that mindset.
Cody's like,
guys, why are we all so stressful? Have fun, relax.
She comes into the marketing meeting next week. Guys, we're all having fun.
I've got some sage. Yeah, I also think it's who you surround yourself with. Like when I came back from Europe, I'd made some really good friends that were just so chill. And I'm actually seeing them. They're visiting me in Sydney next week.
I'm so fun. That's the best thing, isn't it? Like putting yourself out of, there's a good like outcome. Like you've gone and put yourself out of your comfort zone and you have some fun new friends that are coming to visit.
Yeah, exactly.
So my next tip for surviving your 20s is knowing friendship breakups are okay and actually a part of growth. I feel like sometimes it is such a scary thing to be when you're growing differently to the people that you've grown up with. It can be really scary and really upsetting. But I think it's just knowing that it's actually a part of growth. And as you do grow, you are in your 20s, you change so much, like literally so much. And I think the people that you meet in your 20s, it's crazy how much you can connect with them and like build such a different friendship, I suppose, because you're meeting that person on the level that you are today and like they're meeting you there. And it's like you obviously have found a connection because you are similar and you have similar values and you like to do the same things.
Yeah, you're
right.
I
feel like the friendships that you make in your 20s are so important. But yeah, I think it's just knowing that like it's okay.
I think friendship breakups are so sad and a lot of the time they can be like even worse than a relationship breakup because losing a friend, especially if you've had like a lot of history, it's just so upsetting. But I think sometimes those friendships really can be holding you back. And a lot of the time, if like a breakup with a friend is necessary, there's some toxic kind of behavior going on that doesn't make you feel good. And I feel like once you let that go, it opens up so much space for new friendships to come into your life. And as you said, when you're in your 20s, if people are in the same kind of stage of life as you can get so close so quickly just because you have so much to like relate on.
It's actually crazy, isn't it? It's like you can meet these people and you have only known them for a few years, but it's like I actually couldn't picture my life without you. And it's like someone that you've met in your 20s.
Literally. And like if you're holding on to these friends that aren't making you feel good, aren't filling you up, making you feel drained, just because you're scared that you don't have any other friends, like you can meet your best friend tomorrow. You can meet your future maid of honor like next week. You need to let that go to create space for all these amazing new friendships to come into your life. And I promise, like if you have the right intention, it will happen. So ditch those old friends
100%.
that are making you feel terrible about yourself.
Because you might, like, maybe you're lucky and you have people that are like proud of you and they're cheering you on the sidelines. Like I definitely have people like that. And it's like you always will just have, I guess like it's different because it's like with those people you always just have the memories of growing up and like you've just always like you care about them so much. So like there are people that you're going to come out of school and it's like they're still cheering for you. You're still cheering for them. Maybe you've moved away and whatever, but you're still friends. But I think there's definitely, and I know a lot of people like speak about this, is friends that aren't happy for your growth and they're jealous of what you're doing. And like, I don't know, that they're the kind of toxic people that you need to cut out.
Yeah, it's definitely quality over quantity. We've spoken a little bit about this, but my next tip is moving out of your hometown. I feel like it's one of the best things that you can do for your growth. Like you're forced to start over with like every aspect of your life. And maybe you have like a friend going with you or you might have some familiarity in your life, but a lot of the time it's like starting afresh, like ground one. And it's really scary, but it's only up from there.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like if you don't, like for us, we were in smaller towns. So for us, moving was quite essential.
Yes.
But even if you are somewhere that's a bigger area, like just going out and moving somewhere else so you are fully starting over, like you don't have a group of security around you, like you don't have your friends, you don't have your family, and you just have to figure it out on your own.
Yeah.
I feel like that is a new type of growth that everyone needs to experience. Even if you go back to your hometown, that's fine.
Yeah.
But just have a bit of that leap of change.
I know. I feel like you have to put yourself in a position where you don't have your comfort blanket anymore and you've just got to like figure it out. Even if it's like just a longer kind of travel stint, like go on a holiday for a few months on your own. You just have to do it because I feel like you don't really know what it's like to not have like friendships or not be super comfortable unless you literally like put yourself in that position. And I think you build a lot of empathy for people that are doing it now as well. Like now, if I see someone that's like moved countries or like even just moved here and they don't know many people, I will always go out of my way to like make time for them because I'm like, I remember what that was like.
Yeah.
That was tough.
Because we have a lot of people that move over from White Fox from the UK and like literally even like Meg that's come on the podcast, I remember she just like crazily like just moved over here. And I remember one day we were laying at the beach and I was like, do you have a house tonight? She's like, no, but I'll figure it out. Like it's just like things just work out in your favor when you're doing something crazy like this. And it's, well, it's not even crazy, but just like making big changes.
Yeah.
And it's like things just always work out. However, I don't know, they just always do.
They always do.
But yeah, I feel like it's just the perfect time. Like you don't have any, in your early 20s, like most of us, we don't have many, I don't know, big attachments. We don't have kids and
yeah, like there's not as
you don't
many
have
responsibilities.
a home loan yet.
Yeah.
Maybe some of you do, but like for the majority. So it's like it is the time that you can just take a leap of faith.
And do stuff for yourself.
Hey besties, we're interrupting this episode of After Hours with a quick PSA that you can get 15% off at White Fox Boutique with code AFTERHOURS15.
So if you need a whole new wardrobe refresh, we've got you. Use the code AFTERHOURS15 and treat yourself today.
We've also left a link to shop and code in the episode notes, so let's get back into the episode.
My next tip for surviving your 20s is finding your personal style. So I think like making Pinterest boards, thinking about celebrity style that you love, or even like celebrities that you look like and the types of things that they wear if you're not knowing where to start. I feel like just finding your personal style and just the clothes that make you feel really confident changes everything. Like dressing for your body type, wearing the silhouettes and like the trends that you feel really comfortable in, that is where it all starts. And then you can just have so much fun from there. Like once you start with your kind of base of the things that you feel really confident in, then you can literally just have so much fun with it.
You've done this recently, haven't you?
Yeah, I have actually done a bit of like a refresh, because that's the thing. I was feeling a bit like every time I put something on, I'm just not 100% sure if it's like for me. And so I did a bit of like a revamp of my wardrobe. I cut out everything that I haven't worn in a while, and I bought so much new stuff. And I'm feeling just so much better in my outfits recently. And I feel like when you feel good in your outfit, you're going to be a better person.
Yeah, it makes it so much easier to get ready in the morning when you have like outfits that you want to wear.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a good thing, like being intentional with what you're buying, like having a mood board of like, this is the vibe that I want. So then when you're shopping and you go back to it, because I feel like sometimes you can buy something and you like just love it in the moment. But just going back to like the mood board and be like, okay, like, yeah, that's exactly what I'm hoping to achieve in my style.
Yeah,
so like
exactly.
then when you're putting outfits together, you have things that are going to match and everything, because that's like kind of the aesthetic that you're going for.
Yeah, and if you're lost and you don't know what to wear that day, like look at your mood board. Oh, love that outfit. Let me put that together because I bought it from the mood board.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I've been doing recently, and it really made me inspired. So I would really recommend that for anyone that's trying to find their style at the moment.
And then go find yourself some fits on White Fox.
Yes,
Honestly,
I placed a few orders.
my whole basically wardrobe is White Fox.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Whenever any of my friends are like, oh, where's that from? I'm like, where do you think?
I love it when they say it. They're like,
Yeah.
where's that from? I even had like a girl at the gym the other day. She's like, oh, stunning activewear. Where's that from? I'm like, oh yeah, White Fox. Make yourself a priority. I feel like sometimes it's so hard to get caught up in people pleasing and not putting yourself first, maybe putting your friends first, your career first, everything else but you. But it's so important to just come back to yourself, and I don't know, enough said, but make yourself a priority.
It's true. Your happiness is the only thing that matters at the end of the day. Everything else is great to have, but you've got to decide what's best for you in the moment.
I think we both learnt this lesson last year, especially. I feel like we put a lot of things before ourselves, and everything else kind of just falls. Like you could, like, and that's the thing. Like, and I really learnt this, where it's like I put everything else, everyone else's needs and everything before myself, and I just wasn't there for anything or anyone then. Like, you aren't able to show up for anything. So if you're putting yourself first, you show up better for your friends, for your family, for work when you are putting yourself first. It's like a weird thing because you think it's better to put like sometimes like put everyone else first or put this, but it's not, because you're actually not then able to even do anything or show up for anyone.
It's so true. And you learn it through doing it. It's like if you think that being selfish is a bad thing, I feel like we're taught that, but really it's the best thing you can do, because then you show up so much better in your work, for your friends, like for literally everything in your life. But you're right, like you burn out if you're not putting yourself first, and you can't show up for anyone. You might be present, but you're not there. Like
Literally. And I feel like that's such a big thing. Like we say yes, but like I'm also in my saying no era, and it is nice. Like, but it's just like saying yes to yourself, I think.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah. And you've got to listen to yourself, because I feel like that looks different in every situation. Every week it might look different. Like one week you might be like, I really want to be social this week. I really want to say yes to lots of things. And the next week you'll say, no, actually, I got to stay home every night and not talk to anyone. And that would make me very happy.
It all goes back to listening to your intuition, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah. Revert back to tip 1 in all of these. Okay. My next one is, okay, this is a dating one. Make 2 lists. A non-negotiable list for all the things that you absolutely need in a partner, and then a nice to have list. Things that ideally, yeah, that sounds great. Things that you might be attracted to, or just general qualities that aren't essential but would be nice. Not that you should ever like look back at a list and compare a person to a list, because a person is a lot more than just qualities.
But I think meeting someone and you're like, oh my God, this is what I wanted.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just so much better to be able to look back at what you actually want, and the non-negotiables. If anything on that list is present, you can be like, okay, that's not going to work for me. But the nice to have list, that can look different in every person. So
I think that's actually so true as well with like, it's so important to have, because if you are with someone and you're getting really caught up in this situation, you're like, oh, they won't text me back and whatever. You could go back to that list and be like, actually, they're not ticking any of my negotiable list. Why am I worrying about that person? Let's cut them out.
it's so true. You can get so caught up if you don't have an idea of what you want. And sometimes you're like, I don't even like this person. Like they don't, yeah, you're right. They don't tick any of my boxes. Bye.
Why am I
But then
worried about
also
it?
on the other end of the spectrum, sometimes you can get so caught up on like small details. Like say you make a list and it's just one big list and it's this person has to have blonde hair and they don't have blonde hair. So you're like, well, they can't be my person because that's on the list. No, that can be like looks and things like that can definitely be in the nice to have list. And if they have all of your non-negotiables and they perfect on paper, then all those other things, they can vary.
Yeah, I agree. What is on your non-negotiable list?
Okay, just a few things. Emotionally intelligent,
Oh, yeah.
worldly, like has traveled and values traveling. Funny.
These are all probably my essentials too.
Passionate about their career and makes me feel calm, like chilled and makes me feel calm. Those are just a few. What about you?
Well, definitely all of those things. Yeah, I feel like emotionally intelligent is like
Top tier.
literally essential. Yeah, I literally think all of those things. I feel like I am so passionate about my work that I'm also the same. Like I need someone who is thriving in that aspect of their life. And another one for me that isn't on your list is someone who is active. Like I would need someone who they want to get up in the morning and go for a walk with me, or they go to the gym.
Yeah, I agree. I have that too. Healthy lifestyle.
Another one is a good mix of fun. Like I want someone who they have a healthy lifestyle, but I want someone that I can have fun with. Like my next relationship, I want to be really, that's probably one of my top negotiables as well. Just have fun with them, be able to go out, do whatever and just have a fun time, even if it's just you two, or even if you're at the shops, just have fun together.
I agree, because you want them to make your life better in every way. I had work-life balance as well. So it's like, yeah, you want them to like be working hard, working towards their goals, but like relax. Like
Relax.
sometimes people are too good on paper where it's like there's no vibes, there's no fun.
We need vibes. Another dating one. Dating is important in your 20s, not only to figure out what you want and learn about yourself and what you want in a relationship, but for the stories. Dating is also important for the stories. I feel like being single in your 20s, so this is for the single girlies, having stories for your friends and being able to discuss your single stories, there's nothing can beat it. Like sitting with your friends and you're all sharing your fun dating stories.
Literally, I feel like you bond with your single girlfriends in your
do.
20s so quickly over dating stories, dating fails, like things you've both experienced.
I feel like it is what connects you, isn't it? With a lot of people. And it's like, obviously you also want to bring stories for your non-single friends just so they can have the fun stories.
Yes.
But bonding with your single friends in your 20s, like nothing can beat that.
It's such a good icebreaker. Like if I'm ever in a situation with people I don't know and we've been talking for a bit, like whip out, oh my God, you'll never guess what happened to me on the weekend. And you guys will be best friends. Like,
literally.
It's just like you're offering a piece of information about yourself and being like a bit vulnerable and in a funny way. And they're like, oh, okay, I can trust you. And you just like vibe from there. But yeah, I've made so many friendships recently with single gals that are just experiencing the same tragedies that I am. And that's why I said to my like friends, I would love a relationship, but I don't know if I'm willing to give up like the fun that I'm having right now.
I know. Because it is the fun vibes.
Yeah.
I feel like people can be the exact same as when they're in a relationship and single, but there's always like, You're not going to be able to just call your friend and be like, hey, did you want to go out right now? Because they're like, sorry, I'm at home doing this. Like, we need to treasure this time.
Precious time.
I like that you're in this energy now. So my next my next checklist for surviving your 20s is learn your values. I think it's so important to do a values test. So you can just base your whole decisions off this. Like, basically, you just write down your core values and you figure out your core values. And once you have your core values, you can base every decision off that to know that you're living in alignment with those. Like, if you don't know them and then you're doing your life without knowing them, I feel like you can feel unaligned. So
yeah. Is it like an actual quiz or you just
I've done it before. So there's like values and you write down basically the ones that like you think like your values, and then you kind of get a smaller and smaller list till you get your core values.
So does it start with lots of options and then you just filter down?
Yeah.
What are yours?
My top value when I did it, and I should do it again, was balance, I believe. And I think another one of my core values is like family and friends. Health and my health. And I want to do it again because I feel like the last time I did it was probably a few years ago. So I feel like they do change.
Yeah.
As you grow and your core values can change. But I'll send you the exercise.
Yeah, that sounds good. I guess it's the same as like your intentions and living in line with them and everything.
Yeah. But these
just
are
nice
actually
to,
your
like-
core values of what you care about. But
Yeah.
you don't, it's so funny because you don't actually know them
Yeah.
unless you've actually done this.
Yeah, true. It's like you might live like that, but you don't like categorize them in like, okay, that's what I am and what I live for. And I feel like putting things into categories just makes it so much easier for us to understand. And
You're
like,
a list person, aren't you?
Oh, I'm such a list person. I'm so like type A, it's not even funny.
I'm definitely not, but that's why we work well together.
Yeah. Okay, my next one is make time for quality friendships, because your friendships literally are what get you through your 20s. As we said in the beginning, there's so many ups and downs. It is a chaotic journey out here, but your friends are the ones that are going to get you through. They're going to be there when you're sad, when you're happy, when you're angry, when you're going through a breakup, when you're in a new relationship. Like, don't neglect your friendships, especially when you get into a new relationship.
This is so, so important, isn't it? Like, I feel like they're literally the people that you choose to be around. And yeah, putting energy into those is so, so important.
Literally. And like when people say boys or girls or your partners come and go, but your friends are always there, like that is so true.
It is, isn't it? I feel like it can be easy to get swept off your feet and not be around your friends so much. And obviously you let your friend do that for a little bit.
Yeah,
as
a grace period.
So important. There is a little bit. But it is so important, isn't it? The next one is stop comparing yourself to other people. I feel like it is really hard. And we kind of touched on this in the start of the episode. One day you can literally just going to paint a picture. You could be sitting on your lounge, hungover, ordering Uber Eats, and then you go for a bit of a scroll and you're like, oh, this person's just gotten engaged. This person's just had a baby. This person's just run a marathon. And you're like,
and I'm a failure.
But everyone is in such different stages of life. And I just think you can't compare yourself to other people and the stage of life they're in, how they look, what they're doing. Like
you're literally just setting yourself up for failure, because the only time I think a lot of people feel really negatively about myself and what I'm doing is when I'm comparing myself to other people. Like that saying, comparison is the thief of joy, is so true.
I love that saying because
it is. And that's why social media and things can be so triggering. So I feel like if you're in a stage where you're like, I'm not doing well with anything, like all my friends are achieving all these things, take a little break from social media, have some time alone to just reflect and be comfortable with yourself and what you're doing. Think back to your intentions, your values, realign yourself and then come back, because you're not spreading good energy when you're like feeling so negative about yourself and comparing yourself to everyone. Like just take them in, refresh, and I think you'll feel a lot of change.
It is hard.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong. Like, we can say like comparison is the thief of joy, but
we're all doing it.
It's so hard, isn't it, not to compare yourself these days,
Oh my
especially
God.
when it is like in your face all the time, what everyone's doing. And I think like with social media, it's a highlight reel of everyone's life. And I know there's been like times where, you know, like even anyone their self knows, like they're only posting the good things. Like you're not posting the worst things.
Yeah.
So I feel like you just need to always tune in and like take yourself back to that and realize. And if you are feeling like that is affecting you, it is a good chance to, sit back, like Cody said, and reflect and even unfollow a few people. I don't know.
Yeah. Loves and unfollow, a mute.
A mute, that's a bit of a
good
softer
mute.
way to do it.
Yeah.
And another thing that I have really realized is everyone feels this. Like every single person, the person that you're looking at thinking, oh, they're doing amazing. They could be looking at you thinking the same thing. And I've had that, like someone like that experience before when I've like thought that about someone, but it's like you don't realize that they're also feeling like that. So it's like everyone's comparing themselves to people, but it's just a normal thing of life.
Yeah, that's so true. And I feel like one thing that helps me is looking at what I have now and thinking like, oh, myself like a few years ago would have been so excited to see where I am now. Like, you're doing fine. Just keep doing you.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's so easy to get caught up in everyone else and that you're not doing enough. But like, just think like younger Cody would have been so excited to be having the day that I'm having today. Like, just be grateful.
Yeah, 100%. And I think it is just that thing of being in your 20s where everyone's in such different stages that it's wild. Like,
and
it's
sometimes
actually wild.
the changes we want to make can't happen as quickly as we want them to. So we're like, I want this person's life. But like, no.
Sorry, can't buy a house right now. But yeah, it's just like, you're doing great.
You're doing good, sweetie. Okay, we're getting towards the end of the list. Not too many more. My next one is document things. Write things down, journal, take photos and videos just for the memes. I feel like it's so easy to forget some of these like things that are making you so happy but might be so small. And it's just so nice to look back and reflect on what you were feeling at that time in your life, even if it feels so insignificant in the moment. I feel like looking back and reading it is like, oh my God, I've come so far. Or like, oh, that's really interesting that I felt that way in that time. Now I feel so differently. I don't know. I think it's just the best thing you can do.
It's crazy going back and reading it sometimes, isn't it? Because I'm like, I did not write that.
Yeah,
Like,
who was that?
Sometimes I look back and I'm like, I don't remember writing this. And I don't, like, it's wild, isn't it?
It is actually crazy. And I feel like sometimes it can feel like a lot of effort. A lot of my friends do like little scrapbooking things and like write down even not their feelings, just like what they did that day. And I'm like, that feels like so much effort. But whenever I've done it, I've been like, oh my God, I'm so glad I did that.
Do you journal much or
not as much as I would like to. I used to journal a lot. I want to journal more because I always like reading it back. What I do is I've got like a 30-minute commute in the morning. And so every morning I'll like talk out my like the things that I would journal, because a lot of the time I don't leave myself enough time to actually journal in the morning. So I'll just talk to myself in the car. And it's actually really good.
You don't like record it, you're just talking?
Yeah, I'm just talking.
Wow.
I know. So if you ever see me talking in the car, I'm not on the phone. I'm talking to myself. You know that 5-minute journal, and it has like your gratitude
I
and
have
then
that.
Yeah. So I'll just do that to myself out loud.
Oh, so you say like, today I'm grateful for like my intentions for today are.
Yeah. And like a mantra for the day. I do that every morning, but speak it because I never have enough time to write it. And I feel like for me, I'm quite like I don't know, like I like talking things through. So like saying it out loud sometimes feels a bit more defined for me than like writing it down. I don't know.
Yeah, I like that.
So do what works for you.
So for any of these time poor people out there, that's a little hot tip, Cody's hot tip. My next checklist tip is always have a hot outfit planned. If there's one thing I've learned, you always have a better time when you have a hot outfit planned. It just eliminates so much stress. You have a better time. Like, honestly, if you don't feel good, I feel like it's not even worth going out because
No,
you
it's
actually
true.
don't have a good time.
It's true. Yeah.
You need to be feeling yourself and be feeling good in yourself, which a hot outfit really helps. And that's the only way you should go out. Otherwise, you should simply not go out.
No, it's true.
So it's really important to have that plan.
Yeah, it is true. I like sometimes you can go out and you might not be feeling amazing, but once you get there, you're fine. But if we're trying to guarantee success, hot outfit that you're excited to wear, like even if you don't have a good time, at least you're excited and you get to wear that outfit and you might get to wear it again.
Yeah, it's really essential.
Next tip for surviving your 20s is be open to meeting new people. You literally never know what an interaction might bring, whether it's like a new friend, a career opportunity, a potential romantic relationship, or even just like a nice conversation. I feel like you literally never know what's going to come from that. And I think I've been trying to implement this more recently because, okay, here's an example. Say I'm a single gal. If someone comes up to me when I'm out that I'm not necessarily interested in, maybe in the past I would have been like, okay, like, I won't be rude to them, but I won't really give them the time of day. Lately, I've just been like having a nice conversation with them and just giving them energy because you never know like either what's going to come from that or some guy you like might be in there watching that conversation happen. And if you've just palmed them off, then they're like, okay, she's not like looking for anything. Like people observe these interactions that you have.
Have you heard of the theory about this?
No.
It's like if you go into a room, say it's a bar, and say hello to at least 5 people, you're like 10 times more approachable to people and people come up to you and reciprocate it. So even if it's like you being like, hey, and smiling at the like guy, the person behind the bar and say hello to like a few other people, like whoever it is, you're then like the energy comes back to you and you just have this energy about you that people are like, oh my God, I want to talk to that girl because she's like just
like approachable and like you just seem like a happy person and a nice person to talk to. So yeah, that's true. I hadn't heard of that, but like I think it's important.
It is.
And you feel better about yourself as well when you're just
happier.
being like a nicer person.
And more confident because you kind of like, I feel like it does bring out your confidence a lot more because you just feel good.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, that one's kind of short and sweet, but be nice to people and be open to meeting new people.
Yeah. Mine, this is a lot of people chat, but be vulnerable with people. I feel like something that I've learned is the more vulnerable and open you are in your, I feel like this is like any relationship, but I'm like speaking more platonic relationships. They're more likely to open up with you and you're going to have a stronger connection. I feel like it's just so important when meeting friends. And that's probably like a tip to do when you're meeting new people is just being vulnerable and being open because people really like it and they reciprocate it. And yeah, you end up having deeper connections.
I think that's pretty much all of our tips. That's our checklist for surviving your 20s. There's obviously a lot more things you can do, but that's a good start.
Yeah, that's our little, I feel like it is hard to navigate sometimes. Like it's, yeah, like we said, there's a lot of ups and downs. But these are just some things that we've learned that are helping us personally. I mean, each person's different, but whatever stage of life you are in, I feel like all of these kind of, well, most of them are really essential.
I agree. And I feel like a lot of the things we talked about, you can refer back to in any kind of stage of your 20s. Like if you're feeling lost in a certain time of your life, you can look back on these things and be like, okay, like get you back on track. So yeah, hopefully these are helpful to anyone listening. I know it's been helpful for Scarlett and myself.
Well, it has, because I'm stepping away and I'm going to do some things.
I know, true.
I'm going to, what was I going to do? I was going to write a list of what I want and what I don't want because I said I haven't done that, I always say. And I'm also going to redo my values and send them to you.
Yeah, I want to do that. Yeah, I feel like this has been good perspective for both of us and hopefully for other people.
Do you have some things that you're going to?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like in general, I have been feeling a little like chaotic it's been summer. There's been a lot happening, and I probably haven't had enough time for myself. So I want to just like relax and get back to like slaying.
That's the key word for you at the moment. Relax.
Yeah. Chill. Maybe take some stress out of my life.
Yeah. We hope that anyone listening has at least one or two things that they can take away. And please let us know. We'd love some DMs and letting us know like how you've been enjoying the episodes.
And what kind of episodes you like.
Yeah. Give us some feedback. We'd love to know what you want to listen to. So thank you so much for listening. Make sure you subscribe and download and send us a DM.
And make sure you follow us on Instagram and TikTok at White Fox After Hours for all the extra BTS content. And we'll see you next week.
Like this, a little bit like I can,